It was the depth of ice cold and black. Every night at the crossroads, how the moon hit screaming back. You don't heard the stories, so it was no surprise. But at 2 a.m. the man died in the gutter, fire flash in the sky. You never know somebody till you've seen them separate survive. Some people see salvation from below, others from the sky. The death that died in plain sight. Blood comes when liquor is alone, singing God, I'm the devil, and the devil is going home. Suddenly.
What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Fighters Walk podcast, episode number 17. I'm your host, Corey Keene. 2 episodes, 2 days, we are back, baby. Procrastination is over. This is another episode, like I said, 2 episodes, 2 days, and we got some things to talk about. We have some things to talk about. Last night, I said, you know what? I put that podcast out. If you can, check it out, episode 16. It's more of the like true crime mixed with combat sports. It's a really, really crazy, but somewhat, I don't know. I really enjoyed the story. It was almost like too wild and crazy to be true, but very, very, very much true. And so that's episode 16, Untold, Deal with the Devil. And like I said, if you listen to that podcast, make sure you check out that documentary on Netflix. It was done amazingly. Last night, I also wanted to watch the Birds. I wanted to watch the Eagles, see what they were all about. Very bad, very disappointing. It wasn't great. I think 35-0 they lost. Preseason, yeah, I guess it doesn't mean much. I wanted to see some guys play. Jalen Hurts didn't play, which was a bummer. I guess he's sick. Hope he gets better. Got to see a little bit of Devontae, but Flacco just he couldn't find him. Couldn't find him. I think he had a couple catches, but early on it didn't seem good. I nothing really seemed good about that game. So I had that up, played some Xbox. I just said played some Xbox, but that's not true because I have a new PC, which I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to get this podcast onto that. Once I do that, we're going to be in business. We will be in business. But as that went on, I stopped playing video games. Hopped out of Verdansk. My tour was over. I turned on the PFL. Now, no podcast last week. The one that I wanted to highlight, the fight that I wanted to highlight, was that Rory McDonald versus Ray Cooper fight. Guys, I told you that was going to be a great fight, and Rory was going to have his hands full. Ray Cooper III, I said this a while back, like a month and a half, 2 months ago. Ray Cooper is something special. I'm telling you. Ray Cooper is something special. I'm going to pull this graphic up. PFL did a great job here. Great job with their graphic. I'm going to pull this up right now. They did an outstanding job here. This is awesome. Their tournament bracket with all of the different weight classes. As you could see, $6 million on the line. FaceTime. Yo, I'm recording. Yeah. This is staying in, by the way. I'll call you back. See ya. Everyone wants to see me in Verdansk. Everybody wants to see me in Verdansk. I'm a trained killer in Call of Duty. Trained killer. But like I was saying, they did a great job here. They have each division. Each division's up here. $6 million on the line. Guys, Rory McDonald, Ray Cooper. This is the semifinals. Rory's going to try to make that last fight he had, which I don't even think he lost. He was going to prove that wrong and make everything right. Didn't happen. Ray Cooper got the best of him. Ray Cooper is a savage. He is a savage. All right. Ray's good, and Ray's going to be a problem in the future too. He's not a secret anymore. He's not a secret anymore. So keep an eye out for Ray Cooper. I really do believe this. And not just because he beat Rory McDonald. Not just because he beat Rory. And I still think Rory's one of the best in MMA. But I think Ray Cooper gets this championship, wins his $1 million, and who knows what's next? Who knows what's next for Ray Cooper? But I think Ray Cooper has a great chance here. Great chance. So that was last week. There were fights last night too. There was a heavyweight semifinal. Jones and Kaploza. And Jones is a CFFC guy, gets the late notice call up like a month ago or so, maybe a little longer. He has a great debut. He makes the playoffs. Kaploza, let me tell you, I watched that fight last night. He looked unstoppable. He was unbelievable. He looked so good. Stopped Jones pretty quickly. Jones will be back. Jones is really good and powerful too, but hats off to my man from Brazil because he proved that he deserves to be there too. I don't know anything about the other guy who won that heavyweight division. Name wise is crazy, but Delege, here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. If I were to put all the money in the world, I'm betting on my boy from Brazil just from watching him last night. That dude could swing. That dude's powerful. He's a fun heavyweight to watch. Very fun heavyweight to watch. Now let's move on to the main event. Every time I see her name, every single time I see her name, it's like that. It's like the old school Ronda Rousey effect. You knew she was going to win. You just knew that there was no one that was going to stop her. You just knew she was going to win. Kayla Harrison, you just know she's going to win. And when she talks, holy shit, it's very, very like, yeah, I know I'm the best and nobody's going to stop it. I'm going to throw you. I'm going to toss you. I'm going to beat you down. I'm going to make you tap or just make you quit. And that's what she does. Holy shit. I was trying everything with this Fabian. She's out of City Kickboxing, trains with Izzy, trains with Volkanovski, the Aussies, like, and she's big, she's powerful, she looks the part, she's great, she's like 6 foot, she fits the build, 155 pounds, like she looks great, she's a beast, and I'm like, you know what, maybe this is it, like maybe this is gonna be a great fight. Maybe she's just gonna bounce around, let Kayla try to get into her, maybe catch her. And then I realized she's 4-1. She's very new here. She's very, very new in professional mixed martial arts. So then I see the betting lines. She's plus 1,200. Makes sense. Vegas usually never fails. Kayla Harrison was just way too much. Kayla Harrison is so good. Then she's saying Izzy can't stop her takedowns. I could beat Cyborg. It's crazy. Kayla Harrison is going to win this competition. I can't believe she's not the one seed. I don't know what happened there. The one seed obviously got eliminated. So I'm not 100% sure about all of that. Okay. But hats off to her. She's a goddamn savage. Kayla Harrison, I think she's 10-0 now or 11-0. I really don't know who's beating her. And then I was thinking, like, is she one of the best in the world? Is she one of the best in the world? Could she beat Cyborg? Goddamn, maybe. She catches her and judo tosses her and just I don't know. I don't know if Kayla's facing a lot of these girls who have zero experience, like not zero, but not a lot of experience. Maybe it's kind of like in the boxing world, like they're just building her. I don't know. I'm asking the question, not only to myself, but to you guys who listen and watch. But hats off to her. She's fun. It's kind of like that Mike Tyson effect. You know what's going to happen. She's going to go in there and she's going to beat the shit out of someone. It could be 2 rounds. It could be 3 rounds. It could be 10 seconds. It could be 2 minutes. You don't know. But that's why you watch. So she's in the finals. There's no reason why she can't win this whole thing. Two USA in there. I mean, it's cool. Now, next week, my man, Brandon Logney. Dude, I love this guy. I watched him. I actually believe his last fight I watched him in, he was, it was a savage fight. It was an awesome featherweight fight. It was like maybe my second episode into doing this. I like immediately DM'd him and was like, yo, come on the show. I never received anything back, but hopefully big things to come. And if he could end up winning this thing and somehow we end up getting in contact with each other, we'll bring him right on. That'd be sick interview. But I say that quick. As much as I love him, I love that number 3 ranked guy in the featherweight semis. Bubba Jenkins, my man Bubba Jenkins, NCAA wrestler, national champion. We are Penn State. Love Bubba Jenkins. Would love to get him on the show. So he fights next week too. He gets that win. I'd love either one of those guys on my show. Now, I don't know much about Wade, but he's the 2 seed, and I'm sure I've seen him fight. I don't know off the top of my head. So I know Logney and I know Bubba. So if those 2 could get into the finals, that'd be sick. That'd be really, really cool. I mean, that's kind of all I got about PFL, but because I don't know a lot of the other guys, I just kind of highlighted bits and pieces here. But your finals are going to be dope. Like I said, $6 million on the line, $1 million cash prize to each weight division. So there's a lot on the line. And you know better than anybody. Fighters are going to fight. Whether there's 100 people in the crowd and you're fighting for $200, or you're in the finals of the PFL and you're fighting for $1 million. Fighters are going to fight, and they're going to find a way to do what's best for them, and they're going to find a way to scratch and claw to the top. And that's what they do. And that's what I find so goddamn amazing about fighters. And that's why I like talking about it. I like talking about what they do. What else we have? We have a UFC Fight Night tomorrow. We did not have UFC last week, so we have UFC. It is back. Decent card, too. It's a decent card. Fun card. There's some fights I'm going to highlight here. There's some names that you may know. There's some names that you may not know, but you're going to know if you watch the card. Okay? Let's start with Roosevelt Roberts. He's fun. He's a fun fighter to watch. I don't know anything about the dude he's fighting. I don't know much about him. It's somewhat even in the betting odds. 145, minus 145 for Roosevelt Roberts. Plus 125 if you want to make some money. Bet on another homeboy. Don't know his name. I can't pronounce his name, and I'm usually sounding like an idiot when I try to pronounce names anyways, so I'm not even going to bother. Roosevelt Roberts, though. Like him, watch that fight. Second fight on the card. It's the second fight on the card. Another fun fight. William Knight. This fight's going to be fun. Light heavyweights are going to be swinging leather. They're going to be swinging leather. Bow, bow, bow. They're going to be swinging. I'm telling you. Fabio, look at that hair, man. Plus 150 for my boy Fabio. Minus 170 for William Knight. Check that fight out. That's right after the Roosevelt Roberts fight. We're off to a great start. Oh, there's my bae. Malchecki. She's fought a decent bit actually since the pandemic started. I believe she was on that first Brazil fight when like the pandemic was just starting, where they were gonna have fans and then they just said no fans in that arena in Brazil. She's from Sweden. She's a great fighter. Has a good look. Everything about her screams star potential. She keeps winning, star potential. I'm telling you. So that's 3 fights right in a row. Okay. That's 3 fights right in a row that you are going to want to tune into if you have the time. I know they're early, the prelims. So if you can't watch them, that's fine. But I'm just highlighting some fights that are going to look good to me. Brian Callagher also on this card. Domingo. Okay. Brian versus Domingo. I'll be honest, I do not know much about Domingo, but what I do know is Brian Callagher is going to be coming ready to go, and he's going to try to knock your ass out. Brian Callagher. So this is, guys, I'm on a roll here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fights in a row, starting at the second fight. These are good fights. Tune in. Check these out. If you have the time, check these out. Okay? If you've never listened to me before, try to listen to me right now. If you're watching these fights, these 4 fights are going to be fun. I promise you that. That's a Fighters Walk podcast check mark. Guaranteed. Please, check it out. Check those fights out. Don't know anything about these guys, really. So our streak's over. So that's the prelims. They start at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock on Saturday, tomorrow. 7 o'clock. All right, main card. Brandon Royval. Opening the card. He's a plus 150 dog. Here's what I'm going to say, guys. To start the card, okay, with the number 3 and the number 6 ranked flyweight, sign me up. Royval wins this fight, he's right up there in contention. He has a case. And Alexandre, 3-rank guy, he's next in line if he does something spectacular. Sign me up, man. Sign me up. How old? Vink? How old is Vink? Does it say here? Why does he look like he's 46 years old? Why does my man look like he's 46 years old? I got to look this up. I have to look this up. 38. All right. For some reason, he looked way, way older. He just looked really old to me. He just looked. What a goddamn nickname. Pachel. Pachel? Vink from Hell Pachel. What a dude. What a goddamn nickname. Shout out to Vink. I think that's how you pronounce it. I feel like that's such an easy name to pronounce wrong. Vink from Hell Pachel. I'm cheering for this dude now. I was just kind of making fun of him. Not even making fun of him. I just thought he looked really old. And I have to cheer for this guy. He's got a dope mustache. That mustache is out of this world. He's got a goddamn hell of a nickname. Hell of a nickname. If my internet was any slower, it could get me back to the card. Oh, of course. Take me all the way back. Yeah, sure. I think I hit too far back, whatever. But my man, Vink, yo, I say this all the time, but I want him on this show too. I want to tell him I thought he was a lot older than he was. And then he'll get mad and probably want to beat me up through my Zoom interview. Vink from Hell Pachel. Sign me up. I'm pumped. I knew nothing about these two guys. I just wanted to make a point that said he looks old. Look him up. Look his nickname up. Dude, I'm pumped. I am pumped for the second fight on the main card. And you guys probably are too. From Hell Pachel. That's dope. That is dope. Following From Hell Pachel's fight against Austin Hubbard, Trevin Jones is gonna fight. See, this is what the UFC usually does. Hear me out here. Seriously, hear me out. And tell me I'm wrong. Go in the YouTube comments. Go on my Instagram. Type. I want the bad feedback. You're wrong. I'm not wrong. UFC is notorious for this. They'll pull a guy's name out. Said Yokub. Said Yokub. Karamanov. Okay, a guy like that. No picture. If you're watching on YouTube, you see no face, no nothing, just a black blank outline of a human's body. It could be, to believe it or not, if you zoom in really closely, that actually could be like an OG Michael Bisping. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that's not Michael Bisping. Tell me that this just plain black figure shadowed is not like an OG Michael Bisping. It might be a little big for Bisping, but I don't know. When Bisping had the head shave, that could be Bisping. Am I wrong here? I could be 100% wrong. But I see Bisping. Can I zoom this in any further? Nah, I can't. Anyways, back to what I was getting at here. I'm struggling. I'm struggling. The UFC is notorious for setting it up to where this guy, it's his debut. It's his debut. They're going to give him a Trevin Jones, who's a beast. I'm a big fan of Trevin. But you come in with that name, the blank picture. I don't know who this one is. Is that one Brian Callen with a receding hairline? Is that Brian Callen? Why does the UFC do this? Why do they just put an actual person and just shade them like black? They just like shade them black so there's like no image. So there's like no image, just a body outline. And they don't even use the same picture. The last one was Bisbing, and this one's Brian Callen with a receding hairline. Anyways, but the UFC, they usually do this. They find these guys with these crazy names. They come in, do a crazy knockout, and then we'll be talking about them for the next, I don't know, however many years. The other thing I find hilarious here, and now I'm just kind of slightly shitting on the people who run the UFC's like internet and website and like social medias and stuff like that. Okay, last fight was debut. That's fine. You got their record. That's fine. You're telling me you can't find this dude's country and he's fighting tomorrow? You're telling me you don't know where this dude's from and he's fighting tomorrow. You can't just put this in the internet quick? You're telling me this dude's fighting tomorrow on the main card. You can't find his height? You don't know how tall this guy is. They've already weighed in. You don't know how tall this guy is. Fine. You're telling me this guy's fighting tomorrow for your company and you don't know his weight. Bantamweight, 135, you would hope, but you can't type that in. You can't type that in. Oh, what's his reach? His reach is 0. We don't know. Not 100% sure. Sorry. Oh, does he have good kit? Like, how are his kicks? His kicks pretty good. We really don't know his leg reach either. Oh, okay, so we'll just put all that stuff in at a different time. I don't know what this guy's contract is, but why can't we put anything in here? I don't know. Don't know. What's after this fight? Good luck to both gentlemen. Is what I was getting at. It took me a long time. I talked a long time about Trevin Jones and Saeed Yokabub, Kub. Oh shit. Okay, let's just move on. Let's just move on. Welcome back, Parker Porter, to the mix against Chase Sherman, the Vanilla Gorilla. I'm going to look for heavy hands here. Heavy hands. Only thing I know about Parker Porter is my boy Chris Dawkins. Made quick work of him. I think it's safe to say I'll cheer for him now. I will cheer for him now. Parker Porter is no longer the enemy. And I will cheer for him against a guy with the name Vanilla Gorilla. I'm not a fan of that nickname, so let's go Parker Porter. That's who I'm cheering for here. Co-main. Drum roll, please. We have an MMA, UFC, Hall of Famer, legend to the game, one of the craziest fighters, high tempo, high energy, always bouncing. I'm making you guys love the YouTube videos. I'm doing, He's always bouncing, shaking his hair, this and that. Clay the Carpenter Guida still doing his damn thing. 36-17. He's still here, still doing it against Mark Madsen, the Olympian. The Olympian is his nickname. Now I got to look it up because I'm very, very curious here. I'm very curious. Am I spelling his name right? Madsen. Hansen. Like an idiot. Madsen. All right. Wrestler. Team Olympian. Extreme Couture. Okay, so he's a Greco-Roman guy. Clay's a NCAA wrestler. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a cool fight for the co-main. I'm thinking wrestling. Clay might catch him. I don't know. But wow. So he's silver medal in Rio. Greco-Roman. A lot of throwing. They throw each other a lot. He's got a lot of world championships, a lot of silvers, bronze. He's got a gold in the junior European games. He was on The Ultimate Fighter. Okay. So, listen, this is going to be a fun fight for your co-main event. And anytime you see Clay Guida, you get excited. Mark's 10-0. All right. So you stick with Clay and his tempo and his pace. You beat him. Moving on up. It's a good co-main event. Main event. I watched the weigh-ins today. We got Jared Cannonier and Calvin Gastelum. I didn't watch the weigh-ins. I saw him on Insta. I saw Kelvin was struggling with weight. Never a good thing. He would struggle weight at 170. Now we're struggling weight here. I don't know, at 185. This is, I don't know. Calvin's world class. Jared could knock you out. Calvin has knockout power too, but I see this going to the ground if I had to guess. Big fight for both guys here. Jared wins. That solidifies him as a top guy. And Calvin needs the win. Here. They're both coming off losses. Big fight, high pressure fight for both men. But I'm excited to see how this goes down. And as you could see from my this is like my pre-fight show. As you could see from the show, I'm excited. UFC is back. It's been a long week without UFC. And that's why, so I could talk shit on how they do their social medias, their websites, this, that. But at the end of the day, the UFC stays producing the best fights in the world. The best fights in the world. So when they don't have a fight for 1 week, we're like, yo, what the hell? Where are these fights at, man? What is going on? So we're back. The UFC is back. I'm excited as hell for this card tomorrow. This episode will get out late tonight. So we're back to either watch it tonight to get you ready for the fights tomorrow or watch it tomorrow morning as you're sitting drinking a coffee. 2 shows in 2 days. It's good to be back. Routine is back in line. I hope you enjoyed the episode last night. I hope you enjoy this episode coming out. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. You know the deal with Spotify. If you listen on Spotify, click it as your favorite. On Apple, click it as your favorite if you watch it. Listen to it on Apple Podcast. Fighters Walk Podcast. I'm your host, Corey Keene. Until the next one, hopefully Monday or Tuesday, we'll catch you. Catch you on the next one. Thank you.